Hi, this is Scott Ridout, the president of Converge, and a little while ago we had our biennial meeting, and many of you were able to be there. I'm so thankful you were there, but many of you were not, and so I want to create this message for you and talk to you about some of the things we're doing in our 10-year vision and how you can be involved in those things. As you know, that Converge exists to start and strengthen churches together worldwide. And our goal and our desire is to see people meet, know, and follow Jesus here in our country and around the world. And we're so grateful for your involvement in those things. Over the next 10 years, we've chosen four foci for our churches and our leaders and our missionaries to have. The first is to open the front door, that we'll see more and more people come to Christ. We'll see more and more baptisms, that we'll also see more churches started. We'll see more churches join us. We'll see more multi-sites started. We're going to open the front door of our ministry, and we're going to pray that God blesses that and God causes our churches and our ministry to grow. We're also going to close the back door of our churches. We want to close the back door we've seen a lot of successions where it didn't pass for one pastor or another, that succession plan wasn't well thought through. We want to help through our districts and through others to help you do a better job of moving from one leader to the next leader. We also want to help you in your boards. The boards are such a crucial part in the life of the local church, and so let us help you have a stronger board that understands the moment in time that God has that church and move forward in that. We want to help you have coaches. One of the things we've said at the biennial meeting is that we would like every leader to have a coach and every leader to be a part of a team and every team to have a reaching vision. When you have a coach, you're being sharpened, you're also being humble and moldable, and you're learning and you're growing as a leader. Being a part of a team means iron's going to sharpen iron, and we're going to move together in the future. We want every one of you to be a part of a team of people, some who are better than you at certain things and some you're better than them at certain things. But you're going to work together, and this team is going to come together around a regional goal of either sending missionaries or starting churches or impacting a city or a community. But you're going to be part of something bigger than yourself. We so want you to be a part of those things. We're going to open the front door. We're going to close the back door. We're going to tear down the walls. There's racial reconciliation that needs to be done around our country and around our world. And in our movement, we're about 23% non-Anglo churches, and our goal is to be at 30% in the next 10 years. Which means that we need to raise up more leaders of ethnicity, leaders of different cultures to come in and be church planters and to be sent out by churches. We need to look in our cities and our communities and find others who are not like us and invest in them in discipleship and training. We want to become a truly multicultural movement of churches. Open the front door, close the back door, tear down the walls. And finally, we want to build the house. We want to build the house. There are things behind the scenes happening that the districts and the national are working on. We're so excited about those different things. But one of those things is this. We're working together to try to raise up more funding for our districts and for our national to start more churches and send more missionaries than ever before. One of those initiatives I'm going to call the $10 million fund. We're trying to raise $10 million so that we can help churches start off faster financially. New churches in Converge will have the opportunity to get a $25,000 grant from us. And over the next 4 years, as they start and begin to strengthen, they'll pay that grant forward to another church. That means that every 4 years that we'll be able to start another church. If a person gave a $25,000 gift, we would start one church every 4 years because they're paying it forward in 4 years. If they give a $100,000 gift, we'd be able to start a church every year until Jesus comes back. If you want to be part of that vision of generosity, of starting new churches, you're welcome to talk to us about that. Talk to your executive minister, talk to our staff, but we want to invest in this church planting vision that we have. As far as the ordinary person and what we're asking every church, it's simple as this. We want each one to reach one. Each one of us needs to go out and find a relationship with a non-believer and become friends with them and invest in relationship and share Christ with them, praying that God will help us see them come to Christ. Each one reach one. Second, each one raise one. If you're a leader, would you raise a leader? If you're a disciple, would you raise another disciple? The great thing about discipleship is you only need to be one step ahead. Everything that you've experienced in your life in Christ, you can help others experience it just by walking through the path that you've walked on. Each one reach one. Each one raise one. Third, each one start one. We're praying that every church would have the experience of helping start another church. that they would partner with the team that they're talking about, the team we talked about earlier, that they would parent, that they would send someone out from among them, or that they would plant themselves. The lead pastor or the leaders of the church would say, I think God's called me to start a new work, and they would leave the church they're at and to start a new work that God's doing. So we want to reach one, we want to raise one, we want to start one, finally we want to send one. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 9, the harvest is plentiful. It's the workers that are few. Converge exists to help people meet, know, and follow Jesus. We exist to start and strengthen churches together worldwide. We want to do things here in the States, and that's great, but we also want to be involved in what God is doing around the world. He's done so much over the last season in our ministries. And so we've got focuses on different parts of the world. We have one called the Spice Island Initiative, where our prayer is to send 100 new missionaries to the Spice Islands. We've got a Caribbean initiative where we want to do the same thing in the Caribbean and the countries closest to us here in the United States. We've got things going on in Thailand, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, and all around the world. We want God to do great things. And if our churches would just pray, if they would just pray that God would send workers in the harvest field and be willing to be a part of that answer, there's no telling what God would do. Listen, I am so proud to be your president. I'm so proud to be a part of a movement who continues to move forward and helping people meet, know, and follow Jesus. So I hope you'll join me.